10K a month was the goal. Then it was 100K a month. Now 1 million a month. Nothing changes.
Yeah, that was a good tweet. And I wrote that in the Macca's drive-thru when I was going through.
You wrote through.
I was like, I'm cooking. God damn. Yeah. But yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Jackson Blackledge, founder of Echelon Agency. Jackson built an agency from zero, bootstrapped it to over 300K a month in revenue now, doing Google ads for e-commerce brands. We're going to talk about that story, going to talk about that journey, and we're doing a different kind of format today called I Read My Guest Tweets Back to Them. And it is exactly what it sounds like. I'm going to read some tweets back to Jackson. So Jackson, welcome to the show. First tweet is this: boys, stop watching those BS videos. I make 10K in 30 days. They're brainwashing you. Things take time. It took me 2 years to get my first client, 2 years of zero progress. Think big, but be realistic.
Yeah, first thing, big thank you, brother, for having me on the pod. Everyone watching this, it's hope you guys enjoyed the episode. But yeah, in regards to the first tweet, I love the in regards to what we're doing for this episode. Yeah, so the main thing for that tweet is just like, because I remember sort of getting into the online space, and even now it's very similar. Like a lot of shiny object syndrome on how to make your first 10, 20, 30K or something like that, right?
Do this to make 10K a month by next week, yeah.
Yeah, I know. 30 days and you'll be a millionaire and shit like that. So
yeah, 30 days, you got this Lambo, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. And the goal for that tweet is just to remind people just to like, it's going to take time, you know what I mean? Because you can't. Yeah. I got caught up in trying to make quick cash and trying to like, I can do this quick and I can do that quick, and shiny object syndrome, jumping from this to that. Like, man, obviously people know me for Echelon, Google ads, but yeah, I've done so many different things because I've tried to maybe do an extra, like get extra money here or do this.
Yeah.
But what I've sort of working up to, and pretty recently, like the last 6 to 8 months, is just to focus on one, put all your energy into one thing, bro. You know?
Yeah. It's hard. So, that is so hard. I honestly don't, because I got the podcast.
Yeah.
And I also met Triple Whale, you know what I mean? And it's so hard. Yep. I got an e-com brand. I don't own a ton of the e-com brand, so it's not a ton of work, but I only own like 10% of it. But it's really hard because I think, you know, like you said, there's shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you get one thing going and you're like, oh, well, could I do that? You're like challenging yourself to learn new skill sets, or you're looking for another way to make extra money or something like that. What were some of your failed endeavors?
Yeah, well, so for example, I tried to, when I was at maybe like 35, 40,000 followers or something like that. And obviously the agency's at like 300 and something thousand right now. Okay. Like low 300.
Your agency has 300 and some odd thousand followers?
No. Like revenue.
Yeah, 300 some odd thousand.
Soon, very soon.
Context, you're saying when you were at 34, 5 or 40K followers. People, Jackson has about 50,000 followers on Twitter.
Yeah. Apologies. So I wanted to get in the space of like info products. So I was like, let's do an info product type of thing. And I was because I like helping people out and whatnot. But yeah, we created a massive course, sort of like a massive document, course, ecosystem sort of thing. We worked on it for like 6 months, spent over 6 figures on just like getting it ready, advertising it, pushing it. And yeah, that was definitely, it wasn't a fail. Like we definitely did well on launch. If we scaled it, then it would have been even better. But yeah, definitely. But
what happens, right? Like your clients get less attention. Clients start churning. You're not bringing in as much inbound. You're just split. You're serving two masters. You know.
Well, that's the thing, and with the whole like Twitter content, I was putting out more sort of agency scaling content, and then from the start, bro, I was like, I'm never gonna like get people to pay for like help off of agency stuff, and then And then I was just going against my morals when I was trying to fucking charge people for agency stuff. And then a few things that just didn't feel right because I was like charging like 2K for like this thing, and it was massive. Like how to get from X to 3, like 2, it was 200K at the time because I wasn't at 300K. So like there's heaps of sauce in there, but it just didn't personally didn't feel right to obviously charge people for it.
Right.
Oh no, I'm not saying don't charge for information, but like I wasted a lot of money sort of investing in the courses and stuff, trying to scale my agency. And then from there, it just, what's it called? When actually scaling the course, when we launched it and stuff, straight away I knew I was like, nah, I can't do this, bro. Like so much of my attention was going there, and it just ROI wasn't there, both fulfilling and also like it was great teaching people. But at the end of it, I was just handing it out for free, and I refunded everyone, bro. And now it's legit just in my link tree on my profile, like the entire course.
After all that investment.
Yeah, I know, but it's you know what I mean. It's worth at least I tried it because I always wanted to try it. You know what I mean? And and then from there I was like, nah. I'm just going to hand it out. And to this day, I'm not going to go down that route anymore. It's just not me. I'm not sort of like a personal, like a info product guy, but respect to everyone that's doing that. Other than that, the other sort of, I wouldn't say failed thing, but recently we were thinking of potentially going into like different like services and stuff. So offering Facebook ads, email SMS, all this stuff. And then once again, it was just like, I've got this name as a Google Ads guy. Like, why the fuck am I trying to do all these extra shit for a quick dopamine hit of extra revenue and upsells? And it's like, nah, not worth it. So that was obviously something that I put aside as well. Not going to go down that route. But other than that, I think that's the main two. Like I've tried, obviously in the early days. I started in like 2016 when I was 16 years old. Drop shipping and Amazon and all this sort of stuff. So obviously drop shipping, other than like one store, they failed as well. Not massively failed, but you learn. But yeah, other than that, bro, not I've done a few things.
Hopefully learned your lesson on getting distracted, right?
Yeah. Well, you do all these other things and then you always just come back to fucking focus on Echelon,
the thing that works. Yeah, right. When the other stuff isn't working, you're like, oh crap, I need revenue or I need more profit. Like you end up being less profitable in that.
Well, that's the thing. Right. What's it called? You're not going to learn these lessons unless you do actually do them.
That's true. I think sometimes people have to chase it. People have to they need a shiny object syndrome phase. Yeah. So that they can learn the lesson. Because as much as we say it or their guru says it, you don't fully understand what it means. And dude, I'm still learning it. Like I told you. So
no, 100%. Likewise.
All right. Next tweet. Nearly 2 years ago, criticized by poor clients. Failed my first agency. $7K a month. Nearly quit. Me now. Built an agency of 60 plus specialists, serving over 50 clients, traveling the world, $350K a month agency, loving life. Just keep going. My question, what are poor clients? Criticized by poor clients? Like, oh, these poor clients, or were they like, they're poor, why are they criticizing me?
No, it was definitely a bit of both. Like, I was working with a lot of brokies, like just not knowing my worth.
Let's do this. It took you 2 years to get your first client. So let's back up. What were you doing? Like, let's go all the way to being a kid, we can have a little therapy session here.
Yeah.
What was your childhood like? What were you into? Were you into sports? Were you flipping shoes? But I don't know. I'm just saying the American things.
Yeah. I was always, so like you can start working at 15 in Australia. Yeah. So, it's just our family, bro. We just work hard in regards to like getting jobs and stuff like that. So as soon as I turned 15 or 14 and 9 months or whatever it is, I worked at the local McDonald's. So Macca's just down the road from school, and I would just grind so many shifts and stuff, but I was doing like 15, 16 bucks an hour. Became a crew trainer there, try to do that extra hours, try to always get the double pay sort of shifts and stuff. Yeah. Working the night. And I was doing that while I was
using your money on. Are we just saving it or what?
Yeah, I was definitely a saver. I was definitely a saver. There wasn't. I was living in the bush, so like, there's not. We don't have Uber. There's no DoorDash. So the only thing you can really spend it on is I don't know, fish and chip shop, to be honest, and maybe like yeah. There's not
We've
honestly
been,
not much.
so why were you so motivated to like take the double shifts and take the high paying shifts and earn all this extra money and just work so much at McDonald's?
It was. I
You
just
weren't
wanted
really
to
spending.
stack, bro. I just wanted to stack bread, and I didn't even I didn't even want to buy anything at that time. I just got really like ADHD and OCD about like seeing more numbers in the bank account, you know. So
Yeah. Where's that
I
come
was
from?
like, huh?
Where's that come from?
I think my father. I think my father. My dad was very entrepreneurial, trying to start like make tools to like paint and obviously do all that sort of stuff. But yeah, my entrepreneurial sort of like mindset and drive definitely comes from my father. Um, so from McDonald's, we moved to another town, maybe like 2 hours away.
Is it more bush or less bush?
Uh, Less, a little bit less, a little
Okay,
bit
a
less.
little more city.
Yeah, yeah,
You guys have a McDonald's and a Burger King in that one.
that's it. No
Yeah.
Uber yet though. Not that
No,
close to the
yeah,
city.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, that's fancy people stuff. Yeah.
yeah. We just got DoorDash here, bro. So like, yeah, that's crazy.
Okay.
So when it comes to the where we are now, I was in year 11, year 12, and worked at Macca's, the local theme park, and another cafe. So 3 jobs total, and I used to just work as much as I could. Once again, no.
Did you
I
just
always
know
had.
that you were going to do something entrepreneurial, so you just wanted the money for whatever that was, or
It was a weird one, bro, because
I
I
don't know
started.
very many 14, 15-year-olds who are like, I just need to see the numbers go up, you know?
Yeah, because I started the whole e-com sort of journey in 2016 when I was living with my nan. And when I started like an e-commerce brand and then a clothing brand and had boxes all over the ground and inventory and shit. But yeah, in regards to like the money, I always, yeah, like to this day, I remember Googling how to make more money online. And it was like some guy with Amazon FBA came up and that's when it really started. I think I just didn't want I just had this drive, bro. I just couldn't settle for the norm, you know? I didn't even know what an NPC was back then, but like that's how I felt, bro. Like I felt I wasn't cocky. I didn't feel like I was better than everyone. I just felt like this whole like life, this normal route just ain't for me. Like we went on a university camp. University's like college in Australia in year 12.
Mhm.
I thought I wanted to be a doctor and a vet, and then in Australia you need like an ATAR of like 99. I don't know what it is for you. I think it's called GPA or something. What do you guys call it in college when you get a
Yeah,
score?
like the average of what grades you get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and doctors like, bro, 97, and the max you can get is 100. And I
Okay.
was like, not happening, bro. I was
Similar,
like,
similar
I don't
here.
put enough time into school. Yeah. So that was year 12. So yeah, the idea of being a doctor and a vet went out the window. But then we
And
went on
then
this
you're like,
university.
how do I make the internet monies?
Yeah, exactly, bro. The what's it called? The what was I saying? The yeah, so we went on university camp. Straight away I was like, no, I cannot do this. Me and my boys, there's like 3 or 4 of us. We just started playing basketball with the university students,
Okay.
and the rest of the campus, all the rest of the students were like taking a tour and stuff, and yeah, it just wasn't us, man. But now myself, I obviously run business. Echelon and my other buddy from that exact day runs his own business, like brick and mortar in town. So like we weren't like we're not dumb, but we're not also like we're not. I'm not Elon Musk smart. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
this normal sort of route just wasn't us.
Just weren't cut
And
out for the school system.
yeah, correct, bro. And if I wasn't like if you said to me 4 years ago you'd be running a business, I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, whatever, yeah, like I believe it, you know, like
Yeah.
because I just felt because I was always like a crew trainer at Macca's and trying to like not be like a cocky leader, listen to me, but always trying to just be like maybe like a work for myself a little bit CEO sort of vibe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's and then from there I was always trying to. I became an electrician straight out of school, so with going back to the ATAR, So the max you can get is 100, right? The minimum you can get is like maybe like fucking 15, 20, right? I got 36.
That's Electrician. No. Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
basically, I got 36. They don't even send you the results if you get under 30. I was 6 points above. Yeah, if
If
I
you
got
get
under
under 30,
30,
they're just like, no, I don't know, man. McDonald's is right. Just
straight
stay
up.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Macca's, go back to Macca's, bro.
Yeah,
But
work,
like, you
work
actually
your
have to
way up.
pay
Do
them.
what you can.
Yeah, you actually have to pay them to get like the results, bro. If you're under 30, so I would have had to pay them like $200 to see what I got.
Yeah. They're
It
just
was
like, you don't
crazy.
really need to know, man. We're kind of surprised you got in here and wrote your name down on the paper, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, exactly, man. So then I became a Sparky, which is like a tradie in Australia, so electrician. Did that for a year and a
An
half.
electrician. You just said two words that are not American
Yeah,
words.
not American. Yeah, yeah.
Little translation. He was an electrician. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then I did that for a year and a half. Once again, didn't wasn't my thing. I respect people that are in the industry, like hats off to them, but just personally, just wasn't my thing. But while I was being a spark, while I was a Sparky, I was obviously selling indoor plants and I was like reselling concert tickets and things like that, and
You're
just trying to
like selling indoor plants. Did you buy the indoor plants and then like go door to
so
door?
things like this, like this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Sure. Yeah. So like indoor, like
I'd buy
actual
them.
plants though, that you have to water and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I had contacts in the industry, so I just. It was funny.
You had contacts in the indoor plant game, huh?
Yeah,
you got
bro.
an indoor plant guy.
I had the connects, bro. You know, they call me the plug, bro. But yeah, we so it was funny because how I made because I was just like kind of, it was going to be my making it buy sort of money while I tried to scale the agency, and I ended up doing like 120,000 first year, Australian dollars. But still decent for my age. I was like 18 or something. Yeah, 18, 19, and in regards to the actual plant side of things. So I knew someone at the actual place where they sold the indoor plants. Okay. So like think of it as the supplier in Alibaba in China, right?
Okay. Yeah. You
But
got
the shop.
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. The shop they used to buy from the supplier ran like a massive tab up of like 40K. They were like in debt. So then I was like, and I went to these people and then I supplied to them.
You've been stacking your McDonald's money for a few years now.
Exactly. And basically I brought from the same people they were buying, but I was just the middleman. So I was drop shipping basically plants and they would just pay me cash. So I was like 18, 19 driving around in like a little fucking Volkswagen van with plants and getting cash and stuff like that.
So you got plants in the back of the van. You're watering them every night. Driving around.
Yeah. Like they'd be at the house, and then I'd take them. I'd drive like
you'd haul them out to the van every day and haul them in every night.
Yeah, straight up, exactly. And basically every Friday I used to drive down and take plants to them, and then they pay me cash, and we go from there. But even
the house you lived in was just like plants everywhere. Like
it was bad. Man.
Oxygen in there was incredible.
Yeah, exactly. Nice and pure.
Were you selling them to like people in homes or offices, or like you're just going door to door selling indoor plants? This is the weirdest job. This is the weirdest door to door job sales.
Not like knocking on doors and like, hey, you want a plant? Like it was sometimes they'd buy from like they'd hit me up and yeah, exactly. They'd hit me up on like let's say like Messenger or something like that or Facebook because I used to be known in the indoor plant space.
Oh, okay. You had a reputation.
Right. That's it, bro. I was called Lil Plant Boy. Plant Boy. Yeah,
I'm your plant. I got your plants. Yeah.
Yeah, straight up. And people used to hit me up. And I used to, yeah, exactly. But it's definitely. I just fell into that, man. But that was obviously an opportunity that I took, and then from there I was able to. Well, I was trying to focus on the agency as well.
So you're building the agency at this point. So like when you said it took you 20 months to get your first client. I was like, that's a long time. So you're mostly selling plants while you're trying to learn the skill of Google Ads.
Yeah, I had to, man.
Yeah.
Because like I started in 2020. I really started the agency in 2020. First year, like the first year I was like trying, like I had my little laptop, this one here, little Apple laptop and posters on the fucking wall and shit and just trying to like, just trying to work away. And like hand on heart, bro, it took me 20 months to get my first client. I lost that client in like 2 months, bro, because the results were dog shit.
Yeah, because you didn't know what you're doing. Still
Yeah,
20
I had
months.
no idea what I was doing because what before the agency I was doing e-com stuff, so I was always like I knew what to do like a little bit on each platform, Snapchat, Facebook, Google, and then obviously got into TikTok when that started. So I always had like skills. So then from there, when I started, man, I offered I went down the same route that everyone else did, just offered Facebook ads for e-com
Yeah,
brands.
that's what I'm, dude. Why? How did it take you 20 months? Like, what were you doing to get clients?
I was trying to do
Staring at
email.
your computer and hoping they would fall into your lap, or
Yeah. Oh no, I was trying to do email outreach, bro, and I was trying to like just do like email outreach, trying to do all these like all the morning routines and all that fugazi shit.
you're like, if I do a cold plunge, 15 pull-ups,
Exactly.
sell
Yeah.
some plants, then I should have clients by lunchtime.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, the
You're
last
doing
sort of
some
like
email outreach. In all seriousness, you're doing some email outreach. Was it just not high enough volume? Is that why it took so long? Or
I have no idea, man. But yeah, I definitely did a lot of volume, you know. But
okay,
yeah, well, I always got calls. I definitely had calls.
okay,
But I remember like I had a script on my wall, blue tacked, and I'd be like, "Yep, so welcome. This is
okay,
like,
yeah. So your sales game was not there.
yeah, sales was not my greatest skill." And then during that as well, obviously trying to sell plants and selling concert tickets,
You're great at
reselling
selling
them.
plants and concert tickets, not so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
Google Ad
I
services.
had to I needed to make more money, and I wanted to like move away from like the plant stuff and all like the not online stuff.
It's
And then I
too
started,
tough to get out of the plant game. Usually, the only
yeah.
way out is in a casket.
I said tough space, bro.
Yeah.
It was just dying off the fad because it was a fad for a while. Everyone wanted indoor plants, so we're
Yeah.
spending like I was selling plants for like $4K a pop, bro, because they're like rare indoor plants, bro. And
Rare, if you're listening on audio, he put rare in quotes.
yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, we had
They didn't know I had like 60 at the back or something.
yeah.
But yeah, I started. I was doing then I was doing online like closing, like sales for one of my buddies, and I was running the agency while I was a closer for my mate Kai Bax, and while I was a closer for Kai, this is like no bullshit. This is how I fell into Google Ads, bro. I was on a call with someone that was meant to buy Kai's service, right? And then we just started chopping it up. Like we just casually chopping it up like we're right now. Like it turned into a sales call to like us just talking about ecom. So it was like, we're not gonna obviously not be closing on this deal. But yeah. And then he started talking to me about like my agency and what direction and this and that. And he's like, man, to be honest, bro, like these agency guys, like 100%, I love it. I'm doing ecom right now, but if I was in the agency game, I'd do something like that no one else is doing. I was like, oh, what would that be? And he's like, just think about it. Just like, what is no one really doing? Like everyone's doing Facebook. And then he was like, what about like, I don't know, Google ads? And I was like,
1 degree different. Yeah.
bro. And I wasn't even going to like come to that sales call.
Head explosion. You're like,
yeah, I was like, whoa. And
dude, so, have you sent that dude a check yet? Like, because
I need to take him out for a beer or like something.
Yeah, something.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And then from there, I was always thinking on it. And then I gave it some time, and then yeah, I started just.
So once you
Google
flipped to Google Ads, that's when it started like kind of started.
Yeah, the two main things happened. I shift just to Google Ads. I knew Google Ads before I started it, but it was like from the experience of the ecom brands. But then after that, what's it called? And then also the personal brand, right? So Google Ads only offering that, and also pushing the personal brand on Twitter, and elsewhere, and things like that. And then also hiring like people that are better than me at the service, like Google Ads, and also other parts of the business operations and stuff. But yeah, that's when I really switched, man. Personal brand. Shout out to the Knowledge X boys for getting me on Twitter.
Knowledge X.
Yeah, Christian.
So because you killed the Twitter game. How, like, what's the secret there? Like, can you just tell me in like 2 minutes how I can have 50K followers like you?
Yeah. Just buy them, bro. No,
buy bots. It's easy, honestly.
Yeah, just bought it up, bro. Nah. Let's transparently, I've not brought followers. All right, guys, that's a joke.
Yeah. Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. Fire out. They'll clip that up. The biggest success that I've seen on Twitter, obviously, it was always quantity, like quality, quantity. But now I feel like it's more quality over quantity. But yeah, I always forge people and to just be yourself, man, and also just be open and transparent to the community. Like your wins, your losses. Like you don't want your audience, because no one's perfect, man. Like
Mhm.
you don't want Twitter to be like an Instagram reel. Oh yeah, I did this much money, I did that. Like the biggest success that I found on Twitter was just making content that was you. Don't be someone that you're not, and also content that people resonate with. Like it's long story short, if the goal is to get leads from Twitter, you want to do a bit of value about your whatever service you offer to give free value. You want to obviously have lifestyle stuff. You obviously want to have a few broad like business or e-com sort of stuff, and then a few posts, giveaways, and call to actions. And other than that, it's just
Yeah, I mean,
about.
it sounds so simple when you say it.
I
But
know. I think
here's the guy who's been grinding me for like 4 years on it, and I feel like I'm getting nowhere. But some of it is distribution as well. Like I think we used to be in a group together that would share tweets with each other and engage with each other and stuff like that. So that stuff exists. If anyone who's listening to this and is like, I don't know, I can't get anywhere either. That's the distribution stuff and engagement groups that definitely exists. You got to get off the platform for it, so you got to kind of know a guy who knows a guy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The content mix is key. You got to have good content, otherwise
I
distribution.
think yeah. You also want to be sneaky with like who you engage
That's
and
the thing is, I think sometimes it's got to be the right people.
yeah. So I was connecting with. Well, I've always been friends with a lot of people in the space, but then obviously growing up, I was always trying to like network a little bit. I'm not like a massive networker.
Yeah,
Um, oh yeah, I don't think I'm massive, but like I was always trying to like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like
good to
just
see you. Let me know if you need
no,
some.
yeah,
Yeah, I was never using people, but I was always just saying, yeah, let me know if you need. And now I can like gratefully say like I'm mates with like a few of the killers in the space, so
yeah,
it's really good. Twitter's connected me with incredible people, man, and I always try and give it back. You know what I mean? I'm trying to help people out, and
yeah,
people will hit me up. Oh, you won't probably see this, but I need help, bro. I'll see that shit. What's up? I'll
yeah,
help you out.
yeah, yeah.
Because I remember the days.
Because that was you, right?
Bro, that was me fucking a year and a half ago,
Yeah,
And I hate, bro, I absolutely hate people that think they're better than anybody. Like the whole quote, treat the cleaner like you would treat the queen, or a bit cheesy, but it's very true.
yeah,
Like just because you've gotten into the position that you're in doesn't mean you have the ability to now be a fucking, like to be rude to people and just to not, you know what I mean? And to think you're better than them. There's people in the space that do that sort of shit. I honestly don't fuck with it. You
I
just need
can
to
see
treat
how it
people.
gets hard to keep up with DMs, keep up with like to really connect with everybody. Like I can understand that.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, that's a different thing. Keeping up with messages, 100%. But you purposely not like, nah, I'm too
yeah,
good for them. Nah.
yeah, I agree. Speaking of Twitter, next one, 10K a month was the goal. Then it
Yeah,
was 100K a month. Now 1 million a month. Nothing changes.
yeah, that was a good tweet, and I wrote that in the Macca drive-through when I was going through. I
You went. You wrote through.
was like, I'm cooking. Go damn, yeah, but yeah, nah, 10. It's bad, man. Like at the bottom of the tweet, I'm pretty sure I say like, this is a like it.
Yeah,
It's something
I'll read the
that
follow up. I'll read the because it was a little bit of it was a two tweet thread. So you said, also lads, don't undervalue your potential. The heights you can reach is further than you think. Trust me. Getting to 100K a month was crazy to me, but that shit was light work. Came quick, so it woke me up to what was possible when you just stay dialed in and put in the work.
mm, having that mindset as a pro, it can be a con as well. And so when I was at like 60K a month, I got quite comfortable. I was making good money. You know what I mean? I didn't
Mhm.
have many expenses. I was really like the expense like wasn't fueling the company too much. And
Mhm.
like as a kid at like 21, 22, doing 60K a month, I was like, whoa, steaks for the boys, let's go.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really pushing too much from there because I always thought it would just stay. You know what I mean? Because you get to this height and you're like, oh, it's staying forever. But bro, I went from I'll get the stripe up. I'm pretty sure I went
That
from
was,
like,
yeah. So tell me the breakthrough points, because I think it sounds like basically getting to 10K was like the hardest place to get. And then once you figured out, like, okay, I'm going to keep doing this cold outreach thing, but I'm going to do Google Ads instead. That's when
yeah,
it starts to click in. You know, you get a couple clients that you suck on, and then you start to get better and better. And then they stay, and then you can bring more on, and then you can hire some people and train them to do Google Ads, and the whole thing starts to snowball. So you get
yeah,
to 10K, you get to 20K, 30K. I think there's a breakthrough, especially with agencies, somewhere in like the 20K to 40K range, where it's like, I won't say it's easy to get there. I'll say it's like once you get some level of traction, like you just kind of find something that works to find clients and to like service those clients. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be much that works. Like for me, I got to 35, 40K, I think, on my agency, really just by engaging in Facebook groups. And I had like no real lead gen strategy to like be consistent with my lead gen. But I think
yeah,
there's definitely a breakthrough that gets you to 100K, because I think that's what I ultimately missed. Like my breakthrough was I partnered with someone who had a big personal brand, and he was able to bring in some big clients that paid us a lot and stuff like that. But I think, yeah, tell me what kind of your break points were in terms of like something changed around this point, and that got me to the next level.
yeah. So like the tweet says, 0 to 10, so hard, man. Like
Yeah.
so hard. Like
Yeah.
even 0 to like fucking 20, very, very difficult. The main thing is 0 to 10.
Yeah.
And then you find like what works and how you can push it, right?
0 to 10 is really hard because you got nothing going. 10 to 20 is hard because you're so busy in so many different ways. Like you've
Yeah,
got 3 clients you're working on, plus you got to keep your lead gen on, plus you got to do these sales calls, and you're doing so much brain switching, but you can't really afford to hire too much help yet. So 10 to 20 is hard for
exactly.
that reason. Then around 20, you start to being able to afford to hire help, and things get a little easier.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And you kind of, because like, I'm not saying I couldn't handle it, but like when I was at like 2021, I was on like 40K, yeah, 30K. So I was 21 years old, man. Like, yeah, I wasn't super mature, but I
Yeah.
was definitely like there. You know what I mean? I grew up quicker than, like, I was older than my age type of thing. But you unfortunately, like, to this day, I'm still learning, man. You know what I mean? Like, I make mistakes and things like that, but you make those mistakes when you grow. But it happens. So don't stress about that sort of stuff. But yeah, the switch was that sort of helped was obviously when I was like my first few clients. With it was like I was like 7K, 8K, 4K, 7K, 10K, 12K, 8K, and that
Yeah.
was always around like Facebook and just doing anything for the client. Oh, you want email? Fuck it, I'll learn
Do
that
it. I'll do
shit.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
You want a creative? What's up? Yeah, I'll get that sorted.
Yeah.
And then a few things I dialed in on one thing, found personal brand, pushed that hard, and then just really like dialed in on that, mate. And I
Basically,
really,
it's like when you have more leads coming in, you start to be able to streamline the service so that you're just dialing it. You don't have to say yes to everything the client asks for, because
yeah,
if you disappoint them and they leave because you said no, you have more leads and
yeah,
more like business. So I think that's huge with an agency, is that you have to have that like stream of business.
yeah. And I think too, at the start I was doing like performance-based pricing.
Yeah.
It's not really the greatest right now because of attribution and stuff, and I wouldn't go back to it. But it was just
shout out Triple Whale, but
yeah.
also it's a little unaligned with the client, if we're being honest, you know.
Well, yeah, that plus even percentage of spend is kind of not the greatest, and we honestly
Right.
do like right now.
I used to say it only takes a couple $20,000 checks to your agency before the brand's like, can't we just hire somebody in house for this?
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Like this is legit the thing that we've been going through for the past fucking like 6 months. Like we making clients like money.
Yep.
And as soon as the invoice gets above like 6K a month, 8K a month, like
I found it was around 5 figures in the US. It'd be 10K, 15K for some brands. They'd be like,
yeah,
once you start to become one of the biggest line items outside of advertising, they notice. And
And the thing
I
is,
start to
like,
realize, couldn't I hire like a VP level person for this?
yeah. And at the end of the day, it's you got to think like, don't get like I was always getting a bit annoyed and like, oh come on, bro, like we're
Yeah.
making you so much money, but when you get to the point of you personally looking at the P&L for your agency and your business every month, and you're looking at expenses, it's business at the end of the day,
Yeah.
man.
If you had
And
if you had a line item like that, that was an agency, you would probably try to hire for it internally as well.
exactly, man.
Yeah.
So you can't get, and that's definitely something that we're trying to, and we'll work on right now in regards to like the moving to flat fees, because I spoke to like Nick Shack, Chase Diamond, Dylan
Yeah.
all
Shaq
these
probably
boys.
told you the same thing as I did because we went through that together. I sold my agency to him.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so I was the head of performance at Structured for a couple of years, and he probably told you the same. Once the checks get to a certain size, that client is going to leave soon.
Yeah, exactly. And a good thing Dylan said, Dylan Ander, CRO, he said like you're in the game to build relationships and also you want to think long term. You know what I mean? Like LTV of the client.
Yeah.
And I'd personally rather invoice the client $4.5K for 12 months and 7.5 for 4 months. You know, because in that 12 months, the client could bring referrals and it could look, you know what I mean? And it's just,
and you're going to be able to service them more reliably and stuff like that. Yeah. We're getting into like unit economics of running an agency, which is fun.
Exactly. Because also like it becomes easier for getting the money off them because you can kind of like just invoice them by Stripe automatically, but also it's not like a burn to them. But if you have to do a percentage of spend,
you got to invoice them that $20,000. Yeah.
Yeah. Fire out. But I remember the first massive invoice I sent was like $16,000, bro.
Yeah.
And I was at the gym and I think it was like 21. And I was like, no, bro, he's not going to pay it. There's no chance.
Yeah.
Bro pays it. Pays it. Yeah, he pays it. I'm like, no fucking way. I've done it. I've made it.
I made it. I'm here. I can get the guac. I can get the guac when I go to Chipotle now.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. So I think it's like, basically your breakthrough there in that like 10, 20, 30 to like 100 range sounds like it was just focusing in on just Google ads.
Becoming good at one thing. Like just
good at one thing and then just lead flow.
Lead flow. Obviously 100%. I'm very grateful that obviously things happen, right? Me getting on Twitter, fuck me. You told me a year ago I'd be on Twitter, or 2 years ago before I even started, I'd be like, what the fuck? Well, I didn't even know what Twitter was, bro. I didn't even know how to post on it when I first started. And then, I found Twitter and that worked out and whatnot, really learned the platform. And then, it was happy days from there. But going from 0 to 10, 0 to 20 was very difficult. But from there, I was so dialed in, man. Like, I didn't even realize I was going to hit 100K when I did. I was just like, shit, these invoices are stacking. Like, we might hit 100K. And then it just happened. Yeah. And you think you're going out, you're going to go partying, you're doing this, you're doing that. Just
you're in full operations mode by that point. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just like, all right, next month, what's up? You know, it was, and then there was a month where because we did performance based, I went from like 100,000 and like $900. The next month, bro, I did 49K, bro. Yeah. 49. 50% of
that's the performance base. That's the other side of a performance base is that's a little less reliable for you. You've got to be able to pay. Like I had to pay my media buyers variable rates, so I paid them like really low bases, but they would get percentage of their book and stuff, which is good. Like plenty of them were actually pretty down for that, and they made really good money doing it. But not a lot of people wanted. Like a lot of people just want to know what they're going to get paid, and that's hard to do when you don't know what you're going to get paid. So that's. And I'm not preaching all flat rate all the time for agencies. I actually think this is like a more complicated problem, and ultimately it's never aligned because percentage of spend or some kind of variable pay, that is aligned for the client. I make you money, you make me money. That means I can have fewer clients and focus on you. What's not aligned is flat pay where you're going to go get more clients and have to water down their service, but they don't want to pay a certain amount. So this is a very difficult problem for pay media.
Then it's like, because brands think, oh, flat fee, you're not going to work hard on the brand. But like, bro, if we want to retain you, we will.
Yeah. And Google Ads is I think it's a better service to do a flat fee on because it is a little more like an e-commerce. It's a little
Facebook.
More,
you can run that up, bro. Like 100K spend real quick.
And it's a lot of effort if you are running it up.
Yeah, yeah, very true.
Google doesn't run up as quickly. You can train Google media buyers maybe a little bit more standardized. So
That's
yeah,
why, like, with the Google side, to really have a good service, you need to like learn the nerdy stuff, like the more GMC and top of funnel scaling and all that side of things, you know? Because man, like GMC stuff, Google Merchant Center optimizations and whatnot,
yeah.
we audit so many ad accounts and so many GMCs are just not touched. So yeah, but yeah,
I think we're in the in the deep end, so to speak, or in the nerdy end of the podcast when we're getting into GNCs and agency pricing. So I know
yeah,
you got to go soon. I want to wrap with this one because I think it's a good one to end on. Skipped the Rolex, took my parents to America and the Bahamas. Ditched the Lambo idea, retired my dad instead. No Mastercraft boat, but I'm sending cash to my sister monthly, making her life with her kids stress-free. Bottom line, family first. Don't chase Fugazi status, gents. I don't know if I said that word right because Fugazi is not a word I've ever heard.
yeah, Fugazi, but
Fugazi. Don't
I
chase
think
Fugazi status, gents.
meaning like a false narrative, like just being someone you ain't, you know, like be someone you are and don't do things for people that you don't even know or you've never spoken to. I'm going to look good online and people are going to look up to me, like this sort of shit. I always wanted to look after my family. Obviously, my parents worked quite hard to, to sort of bring my sister out, myself. And yeah, we moved around a lot. And the goal was to definitely retire my parents, like when I was maybe late 20s or something like that. But yeah, it was like 6 months ago. Dad wasn't liking his job and shit like that. So I was like, fuck it. I just put him on the payroll and I'm giving him his salary plus much more so he can just do whatever the fuck he wants, you know?
Yeah.
And then I wanted the Lambo. I don't really want a Lambo anymore. I'm getting a TRX 1500, so it's a massive difference.
Yeah.
In regards to cars, but
hard left turn there on the Lambo. Yeah.
yeah, it's just where I am, bro. It's just like there's like the roads aren't. There's so many potholes everywhere and all this.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
scraping.
A Lambo is not great in the bush.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially if there's kangaroos everywhere. It's just not going to happen, bro. So yeah, I wanted I wanted to get a boat, Lamborghini, all this sort of stuff, and it doesn't take too much because when you're making a good amount of money, you think everything else costs a lot of money. You know what I mean, like that. But like you can do very well for people within your family for not much. You know what I mean? Like even a $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month to someone that you really that's a part of your family. That's huge, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the money that I send to my sister, she can look after her kid and get the very best sort of, I don't know, formula or food for the nephew. Like and then in regards to parents, like they can do whatever the fuck they want, you know? So yeah, I kind of skipped all that stuff. I'll go through that sort of phase potentially, maybe, probably not, to be honest. Everyone has like buys their branded stuff and all this stuff for like maybe 6 months. But then after that, you learn what's important, you know what I mean? Especially when you grow up. And especially when you get older, like, yeah, I couldn't give two shits about branded stuff. It's more just assets and obviously looking after my people because that's the main thing, man. Because I don't want to be having a fucking Lamborghini.
Once you start being more secure with yourself, you start realizing that a lot of that stuff just represented your own insecurity about your capabilities.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. And that's why it comes down to like Lambos and stuff. It's like they're awesome, but it's like, do you just want people to look at you like you're the guy? Do you want satisfaction from other people, you know?
Yeah, some people do. And some people, like to some people, it's part of their bit, whatever, you know, so to each their own. I'm not saying everyone in Lambo isn't successful, but I think a lot of people get to a point where they can have all those status symbols and realize which ones they want and don't want because they don't have that same insecurity they had before they had made it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think myself, because I came back, like the reason why I got into this space, not the reason why I really put my heaps of effort into like the business and gym and stuff like that. Like it was like 2021, like a massive falling out with like a group of mates, and ex-girlfriend and all this shit. So that was my fuel, bro. And then I was always like, oh, I did it for what's it called? Justification. Is it? Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a symbol, like, fuck it, I'm gonna show them I'm up, But 2 year after that, it just doesn't phase me. And you kind of get past that. You're like, we drive around a beat up Hyundai. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when you get past that, it's healthy. That's when you get into the trenches of the business, and you really, when you don't care what people think of you, that's when you're dangerous. And I urge everyone just to not give a fuck on what people think about you, because at the end of the day, like, it's only gonna diminish what your sort of returns are in life. You know what I mean? And it diminishes because you put time into things you don't need to, and your time is, at the end of the day, a currency, very similar to stocks and stuff like that. You put money into stocks, you need to put your time into the right things, and stressing about what people think of you just ain't it. Like, fuck that.
Yeah. When you stop caring about what people think of you, that's when you're dangerous. That, I think, is the quote of the pod. With that, I'm going to close it out. Everybody can follow Jackson on Twitter. I'm not going to try and read your handle because it's just basically a bunch of letters. I'm going to put it up on the screen here for everybody who's on YouTube. And I will link it in the audio description and in the YouTube description. Screw it, I will read it. It's at BLV as in Victor, C as in cat, K, L, E as in Edward, D as in dog, G as in Gary, E as in Edward, at Blackledge.
Yeah, well, Blackledge with a V, basically.
Yeah, Blackledge with a B. Yeah, so his last name, but with a V instead of an A. Jackson, thanks for being on the pod. Anything else you want to throw out there? If you have an agency, link in bio is probably Twitter's a good place to start, right? With you can go down the rabbit hole, link in bio and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Link in bio for if you have an agency and you want that. But what else we got?
Obviously, yeah, e-commerce brands, feel free to grab the value that we got on my Twitter, Google Ads, bunch of Google Ads stuff. I
didn't do the Google Ads stuff here, but yeah, tons of Google Ads content.
Yeah, 100%. That's what we're known for. So yeah, e-com brands, go for it. Enjoy the value. Agency owners, enjoy it as well. But yeah, at the end of the day, I wish everyone the best of luck in 2024. And my man, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on. And it's been an absolute pleasure. We'll have to run it up again very soon.
We'll have to run it back in 6 months or 12 months, see where the agency's at. I had a good time. Thanks for being on.
Likewise.